In this tutorial, we are going to learn to animate the effect of a glint. As you can see, we have a treasure chest background. Here we have 6 layers in all. 1 is the background and 5 are for animating the glint effect on various things in the treasure chest. We have already added 100 frames to our timeline, as you can see in the video. So let's start animation. On layer 1, we go to frame 6, add a keyframe using the F6. Next, using the shortcut R for the rectangle tool, we draw a rectangle and delete the outline. We change the fill to white. Now we are going to work on the shape of the rectangle and make it look more starry, like a 4-pointed star. We use a selection tool to modify the shape. We've turned our rectangle into a 4-pointed star. Now we select the shape, use the shortcut F8 to convert it into a symbol and name it Glint. Then we enter the symbol by double-clicking our shape. We add 20 frames to our timeline by selecting frame 20 and using the shortcut F5 to add frames, as we've done earlier in our tutorials. We then move our first keyframe to frame 5 as seen in the video, so that our animation's first glint animation will start at frame 5. Now let's scale down our star shape using the Scale and Rotate tool. The shortcut for this is Ctrl-Alt-S. We scale it down to 70%. We scale it once more to 70%. We need our shape to be a little smaller, so we still scale it down again to 60%. Next, we add a keyframe on frame 7. We go back to the Scale and Rotate tool again and scale up our star shape 125%. Then, using the Free Transform tool, the shortcut for this is Q, we rotate our shape a little. Please follow the video for how much rotation. We now add a keyframe on frame 9. Again, we scale up the shape to 130% and rotate it just a little bit. Please follow the video again for how much rotation. Next, we are going to use the same process we did till frame 11. Only this time, in the next few steps, we are going to scale down our shape instead of scaling it up. Please follow the video for values in how much rotation. And finally, we close our animation on frame 19 by adding a blank keyframe using the shortcut F7. Now let's see what our animation looks like by pressing enter. This looks okay. We now exit the symbol by clicking on the Scene 1 tab like we've done in earlier tutorials. Now let's move our glint animation to the chalice on the left side of the treasure chest. We now scale up our animation to 110%. We need it to be bigger, so we scale it up to 140% a second time. Our glint seems to be working well, but we need to stop it from playing in a loop. So we add a keyframe at say frame 24 and use the shortcut F7 to add a blank keyframe. This will stop our animation there. This way, our first blend will play just once and not keep playing in a loop. Now we are going to use the same animation a few times over other places on the treasure. We tweak the timing a little so that all the glints don't look like same. Now we can select a random frame over the layer Glint 1 and drag it to the upper layer Glint 2. Remember to hold down the Alt key while dragging the frame to the upper layer. Let's keep this on frame 30. That means our copy of the glint animation will start at frame 30 on the layer Glint 2. And let's stop it at frame 50 using F7 as we've done before. We now move our copied symbols to the crown on the treasure. We then scale it up to 130%. Now when we play back our animation using the enter key, we see that two glints are animated, one on the chalice and the second on the crown. We'll now animate our next two glints on the hilt of a sword and on the diamond next to it. We select our glint animation on the crown, copy it using Ctrl+C. Then we go to the upper layer of the glint 3, select frame 55. We add a keyframe here using the shortcut F6. Paste our animation in place by using Ctrl+Shift+V. And finally, we move our symbol over to the diamond as seen in the video. We now right-click this symbol and from the drop-down menu, we choose Duplicate Symbol. We do this so that we can change the timing on the symbol without affecting the timing on our earlier symbols. We name the symbol Blink1. Then we double-click the symbol to enter it and make some changes to the animation so that it looks different from the others. Inside the symbol, we select keyframe 11 and remove the keyframe using Shift F6. Now we select all the frames after this one and drag them back to the gap so that the gap created by deleting frame 11 is filled. This looks okay. We now exit the symbol by clicking the tab Scene 1 like we've done before several times. We select frame 75 and use F7 to stop the looping on this animation again like we've done before. We right-click on the diamond glint animation and from the drop-down menu, we choose Copy and on the upper layer named Glint 4, we paste this copied animation in place by using Ctrl+Shift+V. The other option is you could choose Paste in place of the drop-down menu on frame 65. That's like it is done in the video. Next, we select the symbol and move the position to the top of the hilts of the sword as seen in the video. Then we go to frame 80 and stop the looping on this animation by using F7. Now we go down to the symbol on layer glint 1, select any frame at random and drag it up to layer glint 5 on frame 19 as seen in the video. What we need to do now is extend our timeline a little to accommodate this last glint. We go to frame 120 and using F5 we add frames. We need to stop our animation a little earlier than the end of our timeline, which is now on frame 120. So we go to frame 105 and using F7 we stop our animation at this frame. We will now change the position of this last print and move it over to the gem outside the treasure hunt. We press enter to take a quick look at our animation. This looks fine. We will now add a little glow and blur to our glints, which will make them look better and shinier. We select layer glint 1, then we go to properties, frame, filter and click on the plus sign. We select glow from the drop down menu and then we select white from the color palette. Then we select the high option from the quality menu and the strength will be 200. The values for the X and Y axis will be 50. After this is done, we go back to the plus sign and choose blur. We choose the high option on the quality menu. We take a quick look at how the glow and blur are showing on our glint animation. It looks like it would be better with a little less blur. So we go back and change the blur values on the X and Y axis and cut them down to 2 instead of 4. Now we go to each symbol and repeat this process so that we'll have added glow and blur to all our glints here. You can experiment with different values of glow and blur according to the background and what material you want the glints to shine on. Now we are done adding glows and blurs to all our glints. So let's press Ctrl Enter and see what our animation looks like. Looks good. Hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thanks for watching.